Good morning. Jared Weggeland here from Focus Group Florida, Keller Williams Realty, Focus Homes, your local custom home builder, and Focus Remodels when you love where you live and you want to make it better. Okay, the highlights of this week is the housing supply is steady, sales are down, and almost 74% of all listings have a price drop. All right, so let's get into the numbers for this particular week. So we did actually get the stats back from the Association of Realtors this week, showing the months on the market, and I say it's flat because statistically it is. We had last month we were. Let me hold back. So every time we get the results from the association, there's minor adjustments from previous numbers as final numbers get tabulated. So last month was updated to 44% of needed supply was available in the Lakeland market. And so that was a 56% shortage. It was 2.63 months. And this time, October result came through 2.58. So there was a 0.05 difference. And what that means in days, there was 1 day difference. So now there's 79 days of supply. Last month there was 80 days of supply. So it's flat. So yes, last month shows 56% shortage. This month shows 57% shortage, but it's very, very, very close, which is good. So it's only a 2 month trend, so it's not to say that it's stabilized, but we do have a tremendous amount of buyers coming to the area. So it does make sense that that's what's going on in our local market. All right, so for Lakeland and Polk County specifically, Polk County actually had just over 100%. So we had 103% of all the homes that were taken off the market with the new pending contract. 103% of that, so just a little bit more listings were put back on, which is great. So that's equilibrium, which is what we want. We don't want the market to shrink. We need those homes. Now, Lakeland, this particular week, it was some really highs and real lows by zip code, but overall, we're about 96% of the homes removed from the market were replaced. So a little bit of contraction. So with the county being a little over, Lakeland being a little down, it makes sense that we're kind of even Stevens across the board. All right, so some of the highlights and lowlights for Lakeland specifically. So 33805 and 33815, those were in the 20% range, meaning about 1 in 5 of the homes that were removed from the market had a listing to replace them. So in those areas, big shortages. We had 58% in 33803, also that's very low. So just over half of all the homes removed were replaced. Shortage there. 33801 was at 81%, 33811 at 90%. So all those zip codes had fewer homes put back on the market than were removed through sales. So not great. Now the flip side of that is we had some big winners on inventory this past week. So we had 33809 and 33810 around that 130s to 150s, meaning that a lot more homes went on the market than were taken off. In 33812 and 33813, more than double the amount of homes that were removed were put back on for listings, which is absolutely fantastic news. We need those houses; those are good houses. Okay, so that's the good news. I'll put graphs in the post later. Now that's specifically Facebook. The other media don't let me do that. All right, so for Lakeland specific, the last 7 days, here's what's happened with the sold homes, those that closed. The average is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. It's been that way all the time except 1 week, if you remember a while back. Average square footage is creeping down. It went to 1681 square feet. The average list price per square foot, 188.79, and the average sold price per square foot at 184.15. The average list price total was 328.99, and the average closed amount was 313,669, with the average sold to list price at 97%. It's pretty close, and average days on the market is 27. So we'll go down to the average price and see what's going on. From this time last year, there's an 8% increase in equity on the homes that were sold. So our average price point of this week, 313. That was 7.53% greater than this week last year. Also, we're looking at our trends for our our pricing, our 12-month moving average, and you'll see that that kind of had a little hump, and it's going down a little bit, and this week went up some. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if we're about to have a little dip and we're about to have a little rebound. We'll see what happens there. All right, days on the market, frankly, hasn't changed much. The last few stats, 27 days, 30 days, 27 days. So it's all hovering between that 27 and 30-day mark. So don't freak out if you're selling your house. It's taking a little bit longer. Yeah, that's happening right now, but the homes are still selling. We did have a lower week in sales this week. We had 84 sales for Lakeland. I'm sorry, new pending contracts, and 321 for Polk County in the last 7 days back from now. So that's a little bit less than usual. Our canceled, withdrawn, and expired. So we had 11 who canceled, none were withdrawn, and only 3 expired. So those numbers are still very low, considering that in Lakeland there's, I think it was 700 and something. We'll get to it. Listings. We had 735 listings, and only 14 withdrew, canceled, expired. It's a really, really low number. We already talked about the housing number by months of supply. We're doing great. We are so close, and it makes sense because we're near the end of the year. Thank you to all of our clients who trust in us. Part of the professional fees collected get redistributed to local charities and organizations and churches and missions and schools and you name it. So now we're at 51,942. Our goal was 60,000 give back this year. So we are so close. It's awesome. So thank you all very much for allowing us to do that for our community. Active listings, I just mentioned. If you look at the graph as well, you've got it's not a spike. It's just a very, very steady growth, which is good. So we're at 735 listings for Lakeland this week. Last week 729. Week before 711, and then for the county, we're at 3625. Previous was 35, 35, and 34, 85. So they're growing a little bit there, which is good, which is what we need. Lakeland price drop, similar story in as much as it's quite a steady graph. The last two were 541 and 542. Those were how many of the listings. Now, if you think about that, that actually represents about not quite 74% of all homes. All listings on the market, but just under 74% lowered the price in the last 7 days. So I think the sellers are getting more understanding of the market. They're understanding the higher interest rates, etc., and making it buyers more able to purchase the homes. And then in the county, we're at over 1,000 plus. Now I did do something interesting just to have a look. So I'm like, I know that a lot of the new home communities are lowering prices, so I wanted to have a look. So for the county, out of all the homes that lowered price, 811 of those were new homes. And on the Lakeland price drop, just about 20%, 109 of the listings that dropped price were new home listings. So definitely check out my YouTube channel for that specifically. I'll do shorts as I get information about deals coming through. And remember, as a buyer, realtor representation for a new home is complimentary. The sellers pay our professional fees. It's always good to have an advocate on your side and not just have the seller's rep. Okay, so that's it for now. We had an amazing week away last week. Let's have a look. It's Thanksgiving. We have so much to be thankful for. Lakeland is a wonderful place to live. Florida is a fantastic place to live. Just look at what's going on. We saw the other day in New York, it was 70 something inches of snow, and I'm still wearing a golf shirt. Okay, so I know that some of us who are locals, we're putting our scarves on just because we can. It's a little bit cooler, but we are truly, truly, truly blessed. Let's see what's going on this week. So we've got Thanksgiving on Thursday. If you love the World Cup, we've got the football on Friday from 2 to 4. It's England versus USA. So for our family, that's a clash. I'm half and half. So my mother and wife and all that side of the family are English, and the other side are all Americans. So that will be fun. But that's on Friday, and I'm just trying to look to see if I don't see any other community events. But I do know that next week, not the 2nd of December, will be First Friday. Excited for that. All right, guys, I've talked enough. Have an amazing day. Make sure you look down in the post for all the different links and things that are helpful. And always remember, we're here. Give us a call if you ever have any questions related to the market or financing or anything. We'd love to help. All right, Jared signing off. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.